A freshly sharpened knife failed to cut paper after just 70 slides into a standard wooden block. America's Test Kitchen documented it. The same blade, stored differently, survived nearly 3 times longer with no damage at all. If your block holds 8 knives, chances are 6 of them are already compromised, not because you neglected them, but because the product was designed to fail them. America's Test Kitchen set out to answer a question that haunts every home cook with a drawer full of dull knives. Is the problem really user error, or is it the block itself? Their testers started with a chef's knife sharpened until it sliced cleanly through a sheet of printer paper, an immediate visual standard for sharpness. The knife was then slid, edge first, into a standard wooden block slot. After every 10 insertions, the blade faced the paper again. At just 70 insertions, the knife could no longer make a clean cut. The edge failed the paper test. The same blade, stored differently, told a different story. When testers repeated the experiment with the knife placed spine down, edge facing away from the slot, the result was striking. Even after 200 insertions, the blade still sliced through paper without hesitation. No measurable loss of sharpness. The block hadn't changed, but the way the knife entered it had, and so did the outcome. This wasn't a matter of skill, sharpening technique, or kitchen habits. It was a direct comparison, design versus design. The only metric was the paper cut test, a simple but decisive way to reveal edge damage. 70 edge first insertions dulled a fresh blade. 200 spine down insertions left it nearly untouched. For home cooks who have watched their knives fade from razor sharp to frustratingly blunt, the numbers are hard to ignore. The damage isn't invisible, it's built into the daily act of putting knives away. Every time a knife slides into a block slot, the blade meets the wood at a distinct angle. This geometry isn't just a matter of aesthetics or convenience. It is the hidden culprit behind rapid edge wear. The slanted slot, common in most countertop blocks, forces the sharpened bevel of the knife to drag directly against the wood. Instead of gliding in parallel, the edge scrapes along the slot wall, creating a line of contact pressure that is concentrated right where the blade is thinnest and most fragile. Tribology, the science of friction and wear, explains why this matters. Steel is much harder than wood, but the sharp edge of a kitchen knife is measured in microns. Even gentle contact, repeated dozens of times, is enough to create microscopic chips and flat spots. Over time, these tiny imperfections add up, turning a razor-sharp edge into a blunt frustration. Laboratory studies of steel-on-wood contact show that the force at the contact point, multiplied by the slot angle, accelerates the process. The sharper the knife, the more vulnerable it is to this kind of abrasion. Rosemary Trout, a culinary science educator, demonstrates in her food science classes how even a slight mismatch in slot size can amplify the problem. If the slot is too wide or the blade rocks side to side, the edge makes unpredictable contact with the wood, compounding the damage. Trout's advice is simple and effective. Store knives spine down, with the cutting edge facing away from the slot wall. This single adjustment can prolong sharpness dramatically. No new tools or expensive upgrades required. For home cooks, it is a practical fix that sidesteps the block's built-in flaw, giving control back to the user and shifting blame off the consumer. A typical 14-piece knife block set promises a complete arsenal for the home cook. Retail listings from major brands break down these sets with military precision. 1 chef's knife, 1 bread knife, a sentoku, 2 paring knives, a utility knife, 6 steak knives, and a pair of kitchen shears. The box boasts a big number, but the value is less than it seems. Most serious cooks reach for the chef's knife and the paring knife daily, and the rest gather dust or handle tasks better suited to specialized tools. Yet the industry's piece count padding strategy is everywhere. 6 steak knives fill out the block, not because they are essential, but because they make the set look generous. Shears and duplicate small blades pad the total even further. The result is a block that takes up prime countertop space, filled with knives you rarely use, and encourages you to pay for quantity over quality. This approach is not about culinary needs, it is about marketing. The more slots to fill, the more knives to sell, regardless of actual utility. For the consumer, this means higher upfront costs and a drawer full of blades that lose their edge, both literally and figuratively. When the average home cook ends up with only 2 or 3 favorites, the rest become silent witnesses to a business model that prizes the appearance of abundance over genuine value. Inside a standard wooden knife block, the story does not end with worn edges and wasted money. The hygiene risk is harder to see, but no less real. NSF International's Household Germ Study ranked the kitchen knife block as the 7th most contaminated item in the average home, trailing only the refrigerator meat drawer. Researchers swabbed blocks and found traces of E. coli, salmonella, listeria, yeast, and mold, microbes that thrive in the dark, narrow slots where moisture and food residue can linger out of sight. A borescope camera, snaked into a block's interior, reveals what routine cleaning misses: scratches, stubborn debris, and a thin, tacky film clinging to the wood. That film, experts warn, is the beginning of a biofilm, a sticky layer where bacteria gather and resist even thorough washing. Alan Rathie, a specialist in healthy facilities, has described these biofilms as breeding grounds for bacteria, noting that the structure shields microbes from soap and sanitizer alike. Unlike a cutting board or countertop, a knife block cannot be easily scrubbed inside. Even diligent hand washing leaves the slot interiors vulnerable. With each insertion, a blade can pick up whatever is hiding in those crevices and carry it straight to your next meal. For home cooks who trust that a block keeps knives clean and ready, the reality is more unsettling. The design itself makes thorough sanitation nearly impossible, adding a biological threat to the list of hidden costs. Professional kitchens don't rely on knife blocks to keep their blades sharp or safe. Instead, chefs use magnetic strips mounted on the wall, in drawer trays, or simple blade guards. These methods avoid the problems built into the block: no angled slots, no hidden crevices, no wood scraping the edge. America's Test Kitchen repeated their 200 insertion test with a magnetic strip and an in-drawer tray. The outcome matched the spine-down block trial. After 200 insertions, the blade still sliced paper cleanly, no edge degradation. The knife's sharpness didn't fade, because the edge never touched anything but air or the side of the blade. There's a reason health codes in commercial kitchens often restrict porous wood for storing tools. Non-porous materials are easier to clean and less likely to harbor bacteria. Magnetic strips and plastic and drawer trays meet those standards. For home cooks, these solutions are simple to install and make every knife visible, accessible, and protected. The evidence is clear. Safe storage exists, and it works. The problem isn't the user, it's the design. A chef's knife, a paring knife, and a bread knife. These 3 blades cover nearly every kitchen task. Professional testers and culinary schools agree these are the workhorses. Instead of paying for a padded block set, a home cook can build a kit that outperforms most mass-market bundles. The Victorinox Fibrox Pro 8-inch chef's knife, with a Rockwell hardness of around 56 HRC, costs about $40 and is known for its durable edge and comfortable handle. Add a Tajiro DP 8-inch bread knife, which features a harder VG10 core at roughly 60 HRC for $75, and a Mercer Genesis 3.5-inch paring knife, priced near $22. Altogether, this trio totals $137, often less than a 14-piece set loaded with filler. Higher Rockwell numbers mean longer edge life, so a harder bread knife keeps its teeth sharp through crusty loaves, while the chefs and paring knives handle prep with ease. For the price of a block set, you get 3 reliable tools that sharpen easily and hold an edge with no wasted money or drawer clutter. Right now, millions blame their own technique for dull knives, while block design and filler blades do the real damage. Documented edge loss and hidden contamination aren't personal failures, they're industry choices. The sharpest move? Buy less, buy better, and reclaim your kitchen from the marketing. What's in your block?